Recently, I was looking for a book on essays, and everywhere I came across this book called 101 Essays That'll Change the Way You Think. Apparently, it's written by Brianna Wiest, who is a blogger, and she writes popular posts on her blog, and now she's come up with these essays or posts which she has compiled in this book. Initially, I was reluctant to pick this book or discuss it here, but based on the suggestions of certain readers, I thought, why not? If pop philosophy is about these books, why not? So here I am. I have been reading this book, and there are some interesting essays which I found thought-provoking, and I thought I would share them, at least one of them, with you. So this one, which I'm going to narrate in this podcast, it's called The Parts of You That Aren't I. Talks about the existentialism, who am I, this feeling. But she tells you about this idea in a very simple and interesting way. So here we go. Let me narrate this. Let's pretend for a moment that we pulled apart all of your organs and laid them on a table. Feel your heartbeat. Imagine it is outside of you. You would not look at your heart and think, that is me. You think, that is my heart. Now feel your breath. Feel it in tandem with your heartbeat, neither of which you're often conscious of, both of which are in constant motion. You do not say, I am my breath. You say, I am breathing. Think about your liver and your kidneys. Think about your bones and your blood. Think about your legs and your fingers and your hair and your brain. You see them objectively. They are just parts. They are ultimately and mostly removable and replaceable, and they are all entirely temporary. You don't think of them and see I. You think of them and you see things. If you pull them apart, they'd just be compilations of cells. You don't see them and think, that's me. You think, those are mine. Why is it any different when we compile and attach them? There is a concentration of energy, of heavy presentness in your chest and throat, and maybe little in your head. It is centered. You don't feel yourself in your legs. You don't have emotions in your arms. It is at the core. In that same space coexist the organs we don't identify with and the energy we do. If we removed the latter, what would be left? What would be there? What exists when you don't? Have you ever sat in that? Have you ever sat with that? Have you ever felt each part of your body and realized the parts are not I? Have you ever felt the presentness that is somehow livened when attached? Have you ever identified the difference between what you call yours and what you call yourself? Knowing who you are is grounding. It gives you a sense of trajectory. But when we assign words and meanings to what we know we like and value and want, we create attachments. We then strive to keep things within the parameters of which we have already accepted. Out of that, we create failure. We create suffering over self. We begin to believe that a static idea can represent a dynamic, evolving being. The ways we don't live up to the ideas in our minds become our greatest grievances. I think sometimes we get attached to the structures because we don't like the contents. We are more invested in how we are perceived than who we are, in the idea of what the title means than the day to day work of the job, in the do you promise to love me forever than the actual day to day loving. This is to say, we are more comforted by ideas of what things are as opposed to what they really are. We like to think of ourselves as bodies because that doesn't leave us with the open ended what else. But what if the what else isn't the end thought but the beginning? What if awareness of it frees us of so many things, quells so many thoughts, balms so many aches? What if healing yourself is not fixing an attitude, not changing an opinion, not altering an aesthetic, but shifting a presence, an awareness, and energy? In this case, fixing the part does not heal the whole. The only thing that changes you and your life is the awareness of the parts that are not I. It is the whole. It is where you end up. It is where you begin. It is the one thing, the only thing that shifts and raises and facilitates the spark of awareness that made you question the elements of its vessel. I'm not really asking you to consider the theories. I am just asking whether or not you feel it.